Hello everyone, I'm Andressa Bonato, also known as Andinacio. It's a pleasure to be presenting at the Wiki Workshop 2025. I'm excited to share a research in progress titled An Insider History of the Wikimedia Movement. I'm a Brazilian historian and Wikimedian working for and studying the goal of knowledge equity in our movement. So this is the core of my PhD research and my Wikimedia activism. Today I'll share some preliminary findings from a meta-historiography study, but let's start with the initial assumptions. And the first one is that cultural history is underrepresented in Wikimedia research. Yet historical culture is present in the Wikimedian scholarship. In this corpus, Wikimedian authors act as historians by trade, informed by their participation in the movement. I conceptualize these contributions as insider histories and as experiments in the historian's craft. In terms of methodology, I experimented with information science methods, more specifically Chito Okoli's systematic literature review and theoretical concept synthesis, designing a tailored survey protocol. The focus of the study is on analyzing methodological approaches in the selected literature rather than just summarizing the findings. Over 500 items were surveyed and they were screened down to 58 selected items, and the analysis was divided into 3 stages. Phase 1, presented here, examines 9 books. Phase 2 will examine the remaining 49 standalone items, and Phase 3 will manually incorporate additional sources. Well, here you can quickly check the corpus for Phase 1. This list comprises 1 handbook, 7 studies, and 2 collections. These books span from 2008 to 2021, and all of them focus on Wikipedia, which brings us to the preliminary findings. All 9 books focus on the English Wikipedia with one comparative approach, but all of them engage at varying degrees with the broader Wikimedia ecosystem. The notion of a social movement is uneven across the corpus, reflecting a shift in the mid-2010s. So earlier works refer to communities, while later publications refer to the Wikimedia movement. Across this body of work, some trends emerge. Well, to start, between 2008 and 2009, the history of Wikipedia was narrated in response to external criticism, with accounts articulating the project's origins in long-term genealogies. The 10th anniversary of Wikipedia in 2011 marked an opening for more critical and reflective analysis. New studies began to frame participant observation as a key to unlocking deeper insights into the global movement. And this turn gave way to more systemic approaches shaped by evolving structures of governance. The shift from genealogy to strategy culminates with the Wikipedia's 20th anniversary, when retrospective analysis is employed as a way to articulate future visions. In this context, genealogy is then recast as archaeology, as newer works excavate epistemic structures and discursive practices. This present study joins this archaeological front. Despite the author's diverse voices, goals, and backgrounds, their work share a key feature: nativeness. Wikimedian scholars communicate the movement's histories to outsiders, and while doing that, they offer vivid accounts of Wikimedia's evolution, often through a distinctive Wikipedian flair. Now, although these insider histories may sound like privileged knowledge, they are public and meticulously sourced. These 2 elements, nativeness and rigorous sourcing, reflect the Wikipedian ethos. And that got me thinking, if rigorous sourcing is expected in all academic work, what makes Wikimedia authors different? Well, it's not just what we source, it's how we do it. We manage digital sources in dynamic ways. We understand not only the document themselves, but also their history and their meta layers. Take, for instance, GIFs and talk pages. Even younger generations of professional historians often struggle with digital sources, but for Wikimedians, this is part of our cultural toolkit. Well, moving on to partial conclusions and a few open questions. As I mentioned earlier, I experimented with methods from information science, but I also brought my own historiographical tradition to the table, and that is Marc Bloch from the French School of Social History. As an undergrad, I learned that in times of crisis, we should go back to the classics and reread them with new lenses. That's exactly what I've been doing with Bloch's canonical work, The Historian's Craft, also known as The Apology of History of 1949. This book was written under German Nazi occupation of France. Preliminary insights led me to identify 4 points of contact between Wikimedian scholars and Bloch's historiography. The first one is understanding history as the science of humanity in time and not only a collection of dates and facts. Wikimedian scholars tend to highlight not just content or technology, but the people behind Wikimedia. The second point is thinking that historiography should prioritize transformation over obsessing with origin. While early works followed a genealogical history of Wikipedia, recent scholarship turns to archaeology, favoring epistemic excavations. The third point is that sources will speak only when they are properly questioned. Wikimedians not only question sources, but interpret them through their nativeness, blending past and present concerns while anticipating future implications. Lastly, there's historical time pressure. In fast-evolving contexts like ours, narratives can become outdated before they are even read. This raises a persistent question. Can history ever be purely objective, or must it reflect the spirit of its time, being critical, situated, and action-oriented? Although I will not have time to engage with those partial conclusions and future questions, I invite you all to read the extended abstract and maybe also reach out to me. So thank you for your attention. Obrigada. If you like to follow my research or collaborate, feel free to scan the QR code linking to a Wikiversity page. You are also very welcome to reach out by email or send me a message on Wiki.